Blake Heads Up, episode 4. Dad Blake, daughter Tyra. It's on you, topic discussion.
The topic I chose was the constant need to expand your intellect as you go through life.
That's a very good topic of discussion. Because as I found out, wow, you also have to change with the times. And if you change with the times, they're already going to have to, it needs to affect your intellect and your knowledge. Because if you're closed-minded and you're not willing to grow with the times, you're going to be, everybody around you is going to be moving forward, including stuff with your children, if you have some, even your close friends. I see that so much right now in the space that I'm working in. I've seen the space that I've been in for a long time. That part, that same mindset is, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. I'm not going to change.
I think a lot of that is like people's pride and their ego, because they don't want to admit that they're wrong, or they don't want to hear the opposing side. Because I feel like a lot of people go into conversations not to have a conversation or to have a better understanding. I was talking to my therapist. She said that when you go into conversations, the goal should be understanding the opposing person. I think a lot of people go in it with a rebuttal mentality. They're going in it to prove their point on why they're right and why you're wrong. But it's a battle instead of it actually being a conversation. A lot of people are already closed-minded before the conversation even starts. So it's like, what is the point of even talking? It's like talking to a brick wall.
You're right. You have to be willing to, it goes back to communication ties into everything. Like communication ties into everything, and what we're talking about right now is the intellect and the knowledge part. Because if you don't adjust, and like you say, you won't even go to that person because it's my way or the highway. There's no detours, there's no other way to go except for what my understanding of it. Wow.
And the other person, they can give you insight. They can really expand your knowledge because they can give you a perspective that you never even would have thought of. You know what I mean?
Yes. You know what? It's so many kids that will use Google instead of asking their parents.
Or ChatGPT.
People,
I feel like we're really losing I seen a lady, she was talking about this. When you go out, what is everybody doing? All day, nobody's talking. People at dinner tables, what are they doing? With phones. We're losing the art of communicating with one another. You know, because back in the day, that's all people used to do. They used to barter and all that stuff. They didn't have phones. People had to talk to each other. It built like community everywhere you went, I feel like, and it made it safer for people because it's like you could talk to anybody. Now people, like, if you talk to somebody, you're a weirdo, but it's like, why I can't talk to you? Like, you human.
The last time we celebrated my birthday, I remember. The phones was down, we had a ball. Me, you, Tyson, Leilani, we had a ball. Went to our favorite restaurant, Alessio's. We'll be checking out Alessio's later. It's the best restaurant. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yes, phones was down. And even when, and when you go and you're going out with somebody or you're visiting somebody and you love their energy, you don't need to be heads down on the phone because you know what you're getting. You know what I mean? You know what you're getting. You know you can share your perspective and have their opinion because you respect their opinion. And vice versa. You know what? Oh my goodness. You see that so much. You're right. You're right. People, so what I've seen from the older crowd, here we go again, the older crowd is they're the ones that have problems with, you blaming it on these younger kids coming up. We can't use that thought process and that mindset today. Like we had somebody recently wanted to order whiteout. A whiteout, they want the typewriter back. Like, I'm horrible with the computer stuff, but guess what? This makes sense. You got to change with the times. Yeah. Like they literally was getting ready to order whiteout. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you can't understand the part where you gotta use Word and Excel and the stuff that can get you the information quicker. But you want to still force the old way. You want to write You want to write in a hand. You want to write in a notebook instead of had the reports where you can email it out.
Yeah.
And I had that happen the other day. They came and wrote all this stuff, these names and numbers, and handed it to me. I said, what am I supposed to do with that? They was like, well, we need to get it out. I said, there's something called email. You need to type it and put it in the email. First of all, I don't like typing myself. So you will give me a note with 5 names on it, written, phone numbers and written, and written emails. So that is huge, the knowledge. Because you know what? Kids, other people that in your workspace who's not willing to adjust and to listen some. Because guess what? The knowledge and the growth ain't gonna come if you don't listen. You got to be able to break it down and say, you know what, does this work for me or does it not work for me? And then, like I said, you find so many kids it may not be Google, it may not be ChatGPT, it could be somebody named Fred on the other side. And he send you back something because the information is only good.
But I feel like they're also making us dumber.
Okay.
I think I wrote a paper on this because people are starting to not think for themselves. Instead, they let like the AI and stuff think for them instead of just thinking for themselves. I had someone that I know do an English paper, and they used ChatGPT, and it was clear to their teacher that they used AI, but they couldn't understand how the teacher knew they used AI. And I had to explain to them that just like when you're having a conversation, in writing, everybody talks and has a certain style of the way that they speak or that they write.
Right.
Certain things that ChatGPT cannot mimic. At the end of the day, that's a robot. It's not you. So I feel like people are not thinking for themselves. We got to get back to like the old ways. Even though like we got to let stuff like that go, the whiteout, all that stuff, but we got to get back to like the books and all that because it's so much information on these phones. I feel like it's hard to decipher from what's true in fact and what's false.
Yes.
So
you're right.
We gotta get back to the books and talking to our elders, because
the elders that grew, that kept growing through the decades.
Still not are closed minded, that still thinking like the 80s, but the elders that still are wiser and stuff. I feel like as you, we have to talk to them because y'all have been through things.
Right.
Y'all don't tell us to not do A, B, and C for no reason because y'all done experienced it.
Or been around somebody who was experiencing it. And was able, that's one of the biggest things. I have so many of the younger people that I work with that will confide in me and come ask me questions because I'm gonna give it to them 100. I'm not really a 20% guy. Like if you ask me, I'm like,
if someone gives it to you 20%, they don't like you for real. Even if it's something that you don't want to hear, if they really love you and they know you need to hear it, they're gonna tell you.
Yes. If that sweater
looks a hot ass mess, they gonna tell you that sweater looks.
I'm like, who's that made by Ham? No. Why you say Ham? Hot ass mess incorporated. Because I'm gonna keep it 100. I remember I had somebody ready to go do a interview, a big promotional interview. They studied, they trained. They came across about 6 people that wished them good luck before they went to the interview. I said, you just seen these people? He said, yeah, the last 3 minutes. I'm like, bruh, you got a booger that's the size of a little small baseball hanging out your nose. You need to go take care of that. So I'm sitting there like, yo, he was like, yo, I really appreciate that because you got people that just gonna say, they're gonna say that the sweater, you ask them,
you look amazing. Beautiful.
Yes, you look amazing. You look, yes.
They want you to look a mess.
Yes.
That's how I see it. They just want you to look.
How I like my perfume? Well, I was wondering why my ass was sneezing, so obviously I don't like the perfume, so you gotta keep it 100. So, but a lot of people build their friend bases up. Guess what? Based on a friend that keep telling them the sweater is good, girl, you good. Your blood pressure up. Don't worry about it. We're gonna eat some extra quadruple coated fried chicken tonight, because you know what? At the end of the day, you should have a part of you that wants the truth. I remember your brother Tice told me the same thing. If you call me and you ask for my advice or me to help you, I'm gonna give it to you 100. Call the other friends if they saying that ugly sweater is beautiful. Don't call me. So you gotta pay attention to your base. Pay attention to your base. That'll come up with one of the episodes in regards to laughter. Okay. The intellect. You gotta grow.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what life is about. If you're not constantly learning and stuff, then you're stagnant. Because if you're not constantly learning, that means you're not getting new experiences. You're not doing anything. I feel like you can learn something new every single day.
Yes,
So
you
if
actually
you're not
can.
learning, I feel like you're not doing anything. And I feel like that also makes you. That's like doing yourself a disservice because your brain is like slowly gonna not function as well faster as you're aging because you're not learning. You're not going to learn new skills or keeping up with doing like things like Sudoku and stuff to test your brain and
Yes, I agree. I think we did a good job of trying to speak on your growth, your knowledge. Let it keep. Let it keep. Let it keep
YouTube is
growing.
great for that. It's like a rabbit hole. You find one topic, it's just like,
Yes,
find 50,000.
you're right. Episode 4. Episode 4 is in the book.
On phone now.
Blake, heads up. Deuces.